All right, guys, this is the Odyssey by Homer, translated by Robert Fitzgerald. There are some kind of pre-reading things that you guys can look over. It gives you a list of all the characters, some things to note before you read. But I'm going to kind of just get started because we've already done a lot of background research on this text. All right, part one, an invocation. Poets in Homer's day believed that the gods inspired their storytelling and singing. According to custom, Homer begins his performance with an invocation, calling upon the muse, the goddess of epic poetry, for help and inspiration. The invocation serves a second purpose to capture the audience's attention with highlights of heroic adventures that the poet will describe in detail. Sing in me, muse, and through me tell the story of that man skilled in all ways of contending. The wanderer harried for years on end after he plundered the stronghold of the proud height of Troy. He saw the townlands and learned the minds of many distant men, and weathered many bitter nights and days in his deep heart at sea, while he fought only to save his life, to bring his shipmates home. But not by will nor valor could he save them, for their own recklessness destroyed them all. Children and fools, they killed and feasted on the cattle of Lord Helios, the sun, and he who moves all day through heaven took from their eyes the dawn of their return. Of these adventures, Muse, daughter of Zeus, tell us in our time. Lift the great song again. Begin when all the rest who left behind them headlong death in battle or at sea had long ago returned, while he alone still hungered from home and wife. Her ladyship Calypso clung to him in her sea-hallowed caves, a nymph immortal and most beautiful, who craved him for her own. And when long years and seasons wheeling brought around that point of time ordained for him to make his passage homeward, trials and dangers even so attended him. Even in Ithaca, near those he loved, yet all the gods had pitied Lord Odysseus, all but Poseidon, raging cold and rough against the brave king, till he came ashore at last on his own land. So this is really important, you guys. This invocation, it's important for their tradition. They had to call upon the muse to kind of get permission to tell the story and to get that inspiration to tell the story. You'll hear people say reference to, oh, he was my muse or she was my muse. And that's what this is referencing, that inspiration to write something or create something. We also find out really what's going to happen in the text. They give us highlights of his adventures. They actually let us know that all of his shipmates are going to die, and that he will make it home, but Poseidon is not going to make it easy. And even when he gets home, there's still going to be a struggle. New coasts and Poseidon's son. The gods are worried. Nearly 10 years have passed since the end of the war against Troy, but one of the greatest Greek generals has not yet returned home. Odysseus has encountered a series of disasters on his voyage and is now the prisoner of a nymph named Calypso. He has also angered Poseidon, who has prevented him from returning to his wife Penelope and his son Telemachus on the island of Ithaca. But Poseidon is visiting Africa, and the other gods agree to act behind his back. The poet now tells of Odysseus, who is miserable after 7 years on his island prison. Calypso loves her handsome captive and will not let him go, but she is forced to reconsider her position when she receives a strongly worded order from Mount Olympus. Giving in, Calypso helps Odysseus make a raft, and he thankfully departs. But he does not have smooth sailing. Poseidon, returning from Africa, spots his old enemy at sea and shipwrecks him in an instant with a fierce storm. Zeus's daughter Athena intervenes. She casts Odysseus, naked and near death, ashore on the island of Phaeacia. There, a beautiful princess discovers him and takes him home